You down with NFTs?
Yeah, you know me.
It's Matt Metris. We're playing NFT video games. What's this one called?
This one is called DeFi Kingdoms, the home of the highest quality graphics you will see in an NFT video game.
Oh boy. So the goal today, let's generate as many taxable events as possible.
Wait, are these my taxable events or your taxable events?
Oh, they're your taxable events.
Oh, man.
Okay, Matt. I'm not impressed so far. What am I looking at?
You're looking at the sort of world overview of DeFi Kingdoms, Jason. And this is basically a gamification of a DeFi platform that has some fun-ish elements to it. And pretty much everything you see here is going to come with taxable consequences. So we can start anywhere you want, really.
What did you call this? A DeFi what?
DeFi Kingdoms, DeFi platform.
A DeFi platform.
Exchange. Pretty much DeFi goes in front of everything.
Let's do it. Dazzle me.
All right. You want to go on a quest?
Please.
Let's go on a quest. Let's see what we got here. Let's go fishing.
Oh, wow.
So we'll click on our Fisher Tom and we'll start a quest and we'll pick Brian Cloudstream, one of our NFT heroes who has a profession for fishing.
So that was like one of our own guys? Is that an NFT?
Yep. This is one of our NFTs that I previously have purchased because I'm a sucker for this stuff. And here is our first taxable transaction. So this is saying we need to pay a gas fee of 0.91, which is the native token on the blockchain that this game exists on, which is the Harmony mainnet. And this is less, the US dollar value of this is less than a cent, but it's still technically the disposition of a crypto asset. So it would be reported on Form 8949. So we'll click confirm and we'll wait. There's a lot of waiting in this game. We can see we're pending at the top, waiting on the blockchain to catch up.
While we're waiting, I have a lot of questions about what just happened. So, are we fishing for fish?
You fish, sometimes eggs, sometimes other random things that come out of the lake here. As you do, you can see we have a little countdown timer on our fishing here.
So you had to pay to fish?
Had to pay about a penny to fish, yeah. And in theory, I'll get something worth more than a penny in return.
And that's why normal people do this? Is it like gambling kind of? Like, I guess...
It does have some gambling aspects, right? It's,
okay.
You know, we'll get items that can go into our inventory back and we can use those to make potions and that sort of thing.
Okay, so I get an old leather shoe NFT back. Is the result an NFT, what I get back?
The result is actually going to be a fungible token that we'll have in our inventory. So if you're not familiar with fungible versus non-fungible tokens when it comes to cryptocurrency, every NFT is unique. Like when we pick this Fisher person, she's the only one of that name, stats, etc. that exist in the game. We may get a fish back and that'll just go into my bucket of like bloatfish or silverfish or whatever. And those are sort of interchangeable. They're fungible with one another.
So if anybody's still watching this video, the quest is still ongoing?
We're ready to complete it.
Oh, we're ready to complete, okay.
Which is going to be another taxable event.
Okay.
So
good.
we complete the quest. It's got to get recorded to the blockchain. So we get another pop-up here. This time it's costing us twice as much as before, 0.171. So we'll confirm that. So we just disposed of some more cryptocurrency.
So we had to pay gas twice for that quest?
Yep, you pay gas to start it, you pay gas to end it. And this will be our third taxable transaction as here's our results. So we got 1 iron scale,
Sick.
1 lantern eye,
Oh.
and 2 bloaters at 91
Bloaters.
XP. So we can see, here's all the junk that I fished out of that lake previously. And each of those things those tokens we got has a value of a penny or 2.
So there were 3 taxable transactions there. What would those, like more explicitly, like for the number cruncher like me thinking about a tax form, what would that actually look like?
The first 2 would be sales of our cryptocurrency, of our Harmony 1 tokens at whatever the fair market value was, which was about a penny or 2, and whatever they would be a capital gain or loss based on whatever my basis is in those tokens that we sold. And it would depend on, you know, what accounting method we're using. Is it first in, first out? Is it specific identification, etc., to figure out what the capital gain or loss would be on those, but we would report them on Form 8949, which would flow to Schedule D. Then the fish that we received, those would be ordinary income.
Oh, crap.
And that would end up on Schedule 1, the line 8Z now in the 2021 form. Or if we were doing this as a trade or business activity, that would be income on Schedule C.
When people say game, this isn't what I think of. This almost takes all the aspects of a video game that are fun and makes it transactional.
We can go into the most gaming feature, and they are still developing this, right? We're not actually on the beta site right now, which has more features than the main site, but we could go in duel. So we pick a hero here, and who do we want to pick? Let's pick this one. You know, we have an option to boost a stat. Let's take wisdom. We have to pick a background. You pick, Jason.
Oh, planes.
Planes. And so if the background of the game matches what we picked here, we get a bonus.
Okay.
So we got to pay 25 gold to get in. That's going to be taxable transaction number 4. It's going to be the disposition. We have to pick how much jewel we want to spend on this. We're going to keep it at 0.01 because I don't have that much jewel left. That's going to be number 5. And then if we win, we get tickets, which are going to be more.
Is your jewel fee like how much you're wagering?
Basically, yeah. So if we win, we get this back. And if we don't, we lose it.
Okay.
So we have to pay another gas fee. So that's going to be number 6.
Are the gas fees an expense of the taxable transaction? Is that how they come into play?
Yeah. So one of the problems is there's no clear IRS guidance what to do on this situation because the gas fee is a different currency than the one we're spending. So if it was like, if we were spending Ethereum and the fee was in Ethereum, that would just be, expense of the sale and it would adjust the basis. But since we're taking a complete third different piece of property and disposing of that in the transaction, it's basically a sale at the fair market value of whatever the fee is. As we can see here, that we got that red exclamation point. So we spent our gas, but the transaction failed. So we have to try it again.
When you say the transaction failed, it just didn't work?
It just didn't work.
And you got to pay gas again to try
again?
again?
Got to pay gas again. It's like when you put your money in the vending machine and the pack of gum doesn't come out. So now we're waiting for somebody to join us here. Typically, it doesn't take too long. But
2 hours later.
You want to gamble?
Oh, please, let's gamble.
So we'll begin the quest, pay another gas fee. I think that's 8. We're up to 8.
Right. So when you actually play this, do you hop around to a whole bunch of stuff and get a bunch of things started, or is 90% of it watching it?
I typically will open it in another browser tab and come back to it later. So here's where we would buy our heroes or sell a hero. So this is the current marketplace. Currently, Jewel. So this little icon with the green circle with the yellow around it is the Jewel icon, and Jewel is currently at 19 cents. So we can do the math here, but this is what we call the floor. The lowest price hero is 44.8 jewel, and there's lots and lots of heroes for sale. They all have different attributes and they have different stats, we can see. So they all have different professions, they all have different skills and that sort of thing.
Are these for sale from other players, or are they generated by the platform?
Yeah, these are all for sale from other players, and you can see they all have like generations on them. So like Gen 3, Gen 4, we can quote unquote breed our heroes and create a baby hero basically.
Oh my gosh, is that a thing we can do?
Yeah, we can try it. Okay, so looks like we battled 5 times.
We won 3?
5 times, and we won 3. That's not
bad.
Oh
yeah.
Right? We got 75 gold.
Woo!
So that's going to be income. That's going to be ordinary income for us. And then we got 165 XP, so we're getting closer to, leveling up. Let's take a look at what gold's worth and figure out how much income we just realized there. All right, trader. I want 75 gold and converted it to USDC, which is a stable coin. Insufficient liquidity. Awesome. Let's go the other way. So sometimes even figuring out what these things are worth is also problematic. Because what we're seeing right now is I have this gold and no one wants to trade me for it. So 75 gold is worth 0.1 jewel, and we figured out jewel is worth 19 cents. So this is about 2 cents worth of gold that we won.
I see why you do this all day now.
All day, man. You got to do it all day if you want to make any money at it. If anybody wants to do my taxes this year, I'll send you over the addresses. You can see if our duel's done. No penny. Oh, well, here's spoiler alert. We lost.
Okay.
This is the exciting stuff.
Okay.
So we're on the right hand side here. So after round 1, they have 7, we have 0, 22 to 14. We're getting our butt kicked. Boom. 29 to 14. Oops. We lost. So they get 10 tickets and some gold. We get 1 raffle ticket as a prize, which would be another taxable transaction income to us, and we lose 2 dual points. As you can see, I'm hovering ever so close to 0. We've had some gardening going on, so we can see what's in our harvest box. 38.96 jewel. That might be enough to do some reading. Let's do that. So you doing the math on that, or do you want me to do it?
Yeah. No, let me. $7.
$7. That one's more than 0. This is basically the equivalent of a liquidity pool on any sort of normal DeFi platform. So you put in 2 tokens, and I think this one is Jewel and Harmony 1, and you put them in an equal ratio. So if we were going to plant a seed, you would do that here. And you can see here's the Jewel 1, and we would have to match the 2 values when we put them in. And as people need to transact in Jewel or 1 over time, they use this liquidity pool to match their trades up to.
Now, I understand everything that you just said. But for anybody that maybe doesn't, like run through the liquidity pool, what exactly that is.
Yeah, totally. So, if you're on like a centralized exchange, your big ones like Coinbase, Binance, Kraken, etc., and I want to buy cryptocurrency and I have dollars, I go on there and I'm not buying that directly from Coinbase. Typically what I'm doing is Coinbase is matching me up with somebody who wants to sell Ethereum for dollars, and I want to buy Ethereum for dollars. And just like any other stock exchange or any other type of commodity exchange, they match us up, they take a cut for facilitating the transaction, and everything gets transferred. That's the centralized finance world. In the DeFi world, there's no matching happening. There's no particular person on the other end of that transaction. It's just this pool of assets that people have left. It's almost like the take one, leave one penny bucket at the convenience store. So it's there. It's just there. You put your assets in and you can come reclaim them at any point in time. But if I put in 10 Joule and 1 gold, I might get back 9 Joule and 0.9 gold or something like that, whatever the ratio works out to be, so that it's still fair, but I'm helping facilitate those transactions for once, because I'm saying I don't care which token I get back as long as I get the same relative value back. And I can go into those pools, conduct the transaction. And when I pulled up these pricings before, that's basically what I was doing, is looking for a liquidity pool to trade that gold in. So if I wanted to trade our Harmony 1, for example, for Joule, which is the pool that we just came out of, we could do that. If I did 10 Harmony 1, I would get 1 Joule, basically. So that's the ratio right now. There would be a fee of 0.031, and that's the fee that goes to the people who are guarding it, which is what they call it here. So that's when you have 2 assets. If we go to the jeweler, we only have 1 asset in the bank, basically. And this is much more akin to bank account interest. So you can deposit, claim, or withdraw. So let's claim. Let's see what we have here. I'm trying to free up enough money to make a new hero. So we'll pay another gas fee. Taxable event to pay the gas fee, and then 22 Joule worth of interest. Craft an enhancement stone. Let's see how we do that.
So this is like a different type of crafting.
This is brand new. I've never seen this before, but it looks like we're making some kind of enhancement stone for when we breed our NFTs.
Ooh,
what's that black potion? That's what we need.
Stick
Ooh, we have everything here
for when we make sweet hot NFT babies.
NFT babies, man. Okay, so let's make this stone carver lesser fortunate stone. Let's do this. We have everything we need. We have to approve. So right now, my wallet is not allowed to interact with this smart contract for this utility. So this is a security feature to basically prevent my wallet from getting hacked. So what I'm doing is authorizing my wallet to interact with this item, Gaia's Tears, on this particular asset. But what that means is each of these
you gotta pay
takes
gas
a
to
gas
approve
fee.
every one of those. Oh
Yep.
my gosh.
So this is another 6 reportable transactions. Okay, we need to buy some gold. All right, let me see how much Joule I need to do that.
A lot of boring math later.
Okay, so we've all seen like the Twitter threads of like, oh, DeFi just found this way to like sidestep, taxable XYZ. And it's usually pretty easy to shoot that down. But with anything like this, honestly, with anything in tax law, like there's usually like genuine, real like tax planning advice. Like in this crazy little world, like what is like actual real life correct advice you can give people?
Yeah, the Twitter advice is typically outright fraud, and so we avoid that. But the legitimate advice is don't play this game. But in all honesty, knowing what you're doing and not clicking, we've been clicking around this for a while and doing stuff and not being cognizant of the fact that you are incurring taxable transactions is definitely something to consider, right? So it's almost the most basic level of tax planning is know that you're actually incurring taxes on this, and maybe think about or consult with a professional ahead of time of what that tax impact is going to be of you playing the game. And we've seen that while the transaction values are very small, if you're not able to reconcile all of these transactions yourself, you're going to pay a substantial amount of money to someone like myself to do it for you. So being able to keep really good records is probably the best and most important thing that somebody could do from a planning standpoint.
So if I think about like a farmer and their accountant tells them go like fill the fuel tanks before year end. The old like traditional like, you do a specific thing, and generally there's like general guidance that kind of comes up around it, or like, you know, loss harvesting before the end of the year, stuff like that. In this little universe, like, you know, even thinking about how the value of Jewel has come down, if I've got a bunch of things sitting in my inventory, like, are there tax planning things to do around that? Like crafting these things into something new? Like, are there any like fiddly things like that that are actually have an interesting planning angle?
Yeah, you could totally. I mean, lost harvesting is going to be the big one, right? And as of now, as of the time that we record this, we have a little bit of an advantage in the crypto world in that the wash loss rule doesn't apply. So we could harvest our losses and theoretically immediately buy back the assets that we got rid of. However, you know, it's all theoretical. The economic substance doctrine might disallow that loss if you're doing it only for tax purposes. There's always a catch, right? The code is ahead of us, no matter what we think of. So typically I advise people to wait as long as possible if they're going to reacquire a position. We don't have to worry about the wash loss rule, but you know, you do want to make sure that you're doing everything arm's length and for at least a justifiable bona fide reason other than the tax benefit.
What is like nuts and bolts within this game specifically? What would tax harvesting look like?
So you could sell your NFTs. That would be the big one. You would have to buy different NFTs. So we could go here and we could sell one of our heroes if we wanted to. We name the price. In theory, you wouldn't be able to buy this NFT back. So that's not as helpful.
Okay.
But you could buy a different NFT back with the proceeds. We could take all of our Jewel. We could go to the marketplace here, find the trader, click on that. So now we have 247 Jewel. And if we wanted to sell all of that, we could sell that for $221. So we could swap that, realize a loss on it if there's a loss on it. Most of that I just bought right now, so there isn't anything to harvest. But if, say, we bought it earlier, we could harvest that loss, go into US dollar coin for a little bit, and then come back to Jewel when we're ready to play again and have those losses to utilize this tax year.
And the loss harvesting, like we're really just basically harvesting the loss on the Jewel currency itself, right?
We could do it with Jewel. There's lots of other assets in here that we could sell. All of these tokens, you know, here's our fish. I have 170 bloater. In theory, I've recognized ordinary income on those each time that I've received them while fishing. I could sell them if there we go. So we could sell all of our fish for 53 cents.
You got 170 fish, Matt?
170 of just this kind of fish, Jake.
Jeez.
Do a lot of fishing, man.
Wow.
Okay,
let's bring this home.
Yeah.
Let's make some NFT babies.
Let's make a baby.
So what exactly is happening here?
Okay, so we're gonna go to our summoner. So there's no, it's very PG here. We're summoning based on the essence of these two parent figures. We're going to infuse a crystal with the essence of the two heroes that I choose so that my new hero will probably resemble them in a number of ways. So we need to obtain a crystal first. So we have to see the Arch Druid. So we'll infuse a crystal. This is our new Gen 2 here. This is the baby. So we'll try that. So we can't make a baby with the parents. The game just frowns upon that. So we'll
Probably for the best.
Probably for the best. We don't want any of that inbreeding in the royal family of this game. Okay, so we will take Brine Cloud Dream, select him, and Ruish Bronze Light, we'll select her. We're allowed to put some extra tears in, because if you cry... Extra tears gives you some bonus stats. And we have our enhancement stone that we just made.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so we'll do another taxable event while we approve that contract. All right, so we'll begin the sum. We're going to spend 60 Jewel in this process.
I hope this doesn't fail.
I know, me too. Confirm. And now we play the waiting game.
It's a lot like having a real baby.
Yeah, nine months from now. All right, we received one hero NFT crystal.
So we got the crystal, now we have to summon the crystal?
Now we got to summon the crystal, yep. So we put our parental essence into the crystal. Logistics to be decided later. Open. More gas. This one's expensive.
Let's pay some more gas.
Nothing like paying gas fees all day long.
Oh.
That was intense. All right, let's see who we got here. Willow Cobalt.
Cobalt USA.
Cobalt USA. All right, so she is a warrior priest, level 1, generation 3. Let's see what kind of stats we got. So she's a fisher, owned by MDM. That's fancy. And here's her stats. So now she can duel, she can fish, she can do all sorts of fun stuff.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Proud parents. It's a girl. And then if we wanted to, we could sell her. We could create some more taxable income.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that would be fun. I'll keep her around.
You just had this baby.
Just had it. We won't give it away just yet. And that's how we make an NFT baby. Let's talk about what happened there. Obviously, we spent a number of things in Jewel, mostly in that crystal, in order to make this. So we disposed of those assets, recognized our capital gain or loss, mostly a loss in my case, and those proceeds will become the basis for that new NFT if we ever did decide to sell it. So we have about 60 Jewel, which was what, 19 cents? I don't know how to work a calculator. So that's $11. We have $11 in basis in that NFT plus the pennies that went into making that summoning stone. So we could probably sell it right now for 40 and take a $4 loss on it.
That was every bit as hot and exciting as I thought it would be.
I'm gonna need a cold shower.
Well, how exciting was that?
Very.
Like I said earlier, I understood all of that stuff. But if there were any bits that you didn't understand, Matt is the guy. Matt is the man when it comes to crypto, to DeFi, does like CPE, stuff like that. Matt, what's the best place for people to find you online?
Yeah, you can go to my website, defitaxes.me, and that'll have some blog posts. It'll have any upcoming CPE that I'm doing. I have a bunch coming up later this summer and this fall, so you can definitely catch up there, and links to the socials as well. You can find me opining on Twitter very frequently.
I'll put that stuff in the video description. Matt is my go-to guy for all things crypto. Thanks, Matt, for doing this.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you for having me. This was fun-ish.
Do you like being confused? Check out this playlist for all things gaming. You know who I feel worse for in this whole situation?
My wife.
Well, yeah, your wife. We got a peek into that. That looked rough. You want to see more NFT mating? No. Do you like making NFT babies? Do you like boring video games? Oh, poor Haley has to somehow make like an 8-minute entertaining video out of whatever just happened.